Recognition is the first step to victory. You cannot fight what you do not see. Every battle begins with awareness. When it comes to the threats lurking in your environment, whether physical objects, negative energy, or forces meant to break your spirit, the moment you open your eyes and acknowledge their existence, you gain power. Ignorance is the enemy of control. If you fail to recognize the threat, you leave yourself vulnerable, exposed, and at the mercy of forces working against you. The threat doesn't always announce itself with loud noise or obvious signs. It hides in shadows, concealed in everyday objects, disguised as harmless things in your home. These objects might carry intentions, energy, or symbolism designed to drain your strength, distract your mind, or cloud your vision. They chip away at your resilience, little by little, day by day, until one day you wake up and realize you're no longer the person you used to be. That slow erosion is the enemy's strategy, stealth, and patience. Recognition means you have to look closer. You have to be ruthless with your inspection. This isn't about paranoia, it's about vigilance. It's about scanning every corner, every room, every hidden space with a sharp eye and an open mind. When you spot the threat, whether it's an object, a symbol, or a pattern, you no longer give it power through ignorance. Awareness removes the mask and reveals the enemy's true face. This step demands discipline. It requires you to quiet the noise inside your head, the distractions, the excuses, the doubts, and focus on what really matters. You cannot afford to be soft or complacent. Complacency is weakness. Weakness invites destruction. The moment you settle into comfort, the threat grows stronger. You must maintain an edge, a heightened state of alertness at all times. Recognizing the threat also means understanding the stakes. This is not a game. This is your life, your peace, your energy, your future. When you realize what's at risk, it sharpens your senses, fuels your resolve, and steels your mind. You no longer tolerate anything that undermines your mission or dilutes your power. Make no mistake, recognition is not fear. Fear is hesitation, doubt, and inaction. Recognition is clarity. It is the foundation on which all action is built. Without it, you stumble blindly. With it, you become a hunter, a warrior, a guardian of your domain. You can't defeat what you refuse to see, so look, study, understand, see the threat in full detail. See how it operates, what it targets, how it tries to undermine you. Once you recognize the threat, the battle has already shifted in your favor. Because from that moment on, you are no longer a victim, you are the one in control. You are the one who decides what stays and what goes. You are the one who owns the battlefield. Recognition strips away illusions. It reveals truth, it fuels purpose. It is your first act of war against anything trying to destroy you. This is where discipline begins, where power awakens, and where victory starts to take shape. Be relentless in your pursuit of awareness. Because the threat that hides unseen is the one that kills silently, and you cannot afford to be silent. Taking ownership means stepping into your power and accepting full responsibility for your life, your environment, and your battle. It means no more excuses, no more blaming outside forces or other people for what's happening around you. Ownership is the cornerstone of discipline and leadership. Without it, you're giving away your control. You're handing the keys of your life over to chance, to circumstance, or to those who want to see you fall. When you take ownership, you claim your role as the commander of your own existence. You decide what stays in your home, what stays in your mind, and what stays in your life. You are the one who makes the calls, no one else. This is not about blaming yourself or beating yourself up. It's about empowering yourself to act, to own every decision, every outcome, and every challenge that comes your way. Ownership means looking in the mirror and facing the truth. No sugarcoating, no deflection. You recognize that the environment you live in, the energy that surrounds you, and the forces that impact you are all under your control to some extent. Yes, there may be external influences you can't control completely, but your reaction to those influences, that is 100% your responsibility. Your attitude, your choices, your actions, they shape your reality. This level of ownership demands courage. It demands that you stop being a victim of circumstance and start being a warrior who takes the fight head on. It means when something goes wrong, you don't look for someone else to blame. You ask yourself, what did I do? What can I do differently? How can I fix this? This mindset turns problems into opportunities and weakness into strength. Taking ownership also means setting standards. High standards, standards that define what you will and will not tolerate in your life and home. When you own your space, you enforce those standards with discipline and resolve. You don't let anything toxic stay. You don't allow negativity to linger. You remove what threatens your peace and your power because you understand that you are the gatekeeper of your domain. No one else is going to do this for you. Waiting for someone else to fix your problems or clear your path is a losing game. Ownership puts you in the driver's seat. It demands you act, not someday, not later, but now. Every moment wasted is a moment the threat grows stronger. You must act decisively. You must act relentlessly. The energy you bring into your home, the objects you allow, the habits you keep, these all fall under your ownership. Taking responsibility for them means you have the power to change, to clean, to build. You become the architect of your own fortress, the commander of your own army. You dictate the terms. Ownership is freedom disguised as responsibility. When you own your life, you free yourself from the chains of excuses and blame. You unlock the door to true power, and with that power, you fight harder, move faster, and push further. Taking ownership means you no longer wait for permission. You no longer seek approval. You command your life and your space with unwavering discipline. This is where real leadership starts, within yourself. When you own every part of your world, you become unstoppable. You become unbreakable. The moment you decide to take ownership, you start winning. No threat can stand against a person who refuses to abdicate responsibility. That person is a force of nature. That person is you. Acting with purpose means moving beyond hesitation and doubt and stepping into decisive action with clear intent. It's the difference between drifting aimlessly and charging forward with a mission. Purpose is the fuel that drives relentless execution. Without purpose, actions become empty gestures, wasted energy. But when every move you make is guided by a firm reason, by a goal that matters, you become unstoppable. Purpose demands clarity. You have to know exactly why you are doing what you do. What is at stake? What are you fighting for? When the threat is clear and your mission is defined, you cut through the fog of uncertainty. Your actions gain sharpness and precision. You don't waste time or energy on distractions. Every step you take aligns with your objective, building momentum toward victory. When you act with purpose, you leave no room for excuses. Hesitation is the enemy of progress. Doubt is a poison that paralyzes. But purpose gives you a backbone of steel. It pushes you to get up early, stay late, and outwork everyone. Purpose forces you to do the hard things, because you understand that the hard things are the path to freedom and strength. Purpose also means discipline in execution. It's not enough to want something, you have to do the work consistently. Action without discipline is chaos. Purpose without action is just talk. The two must be locked together, moving in sync. Purpose defines the target, discipline hits the target repeatedly. Acting with purpose requires a warrior's mindset. You have to be willing to take responsibility for your actions and their consequences. There is no blaming circumstances or other people. You act because you choose to act. This level of ownership separates winners from those who fall behind. When threats exist in your environment, whether physical objects, negative energy, or forces designed to drain your strength, acting with purpose means you don't wait for permission or a sign. You don't procrastinate or hope things get better on their own. You move swiftly, removing what harms you and replacing it with what empowers you. You attack the problem head on. Purpose is also about persistence. The enemy wants you to give up, to settle, to accept defeat. Acting with purpose means you refuse to quit. You push through obstacles, setbacks, and failures because your goal is bigger than temporary discomfort. Every challenge is fuel to drive you harder. Purpose sharpens your focus and eliminates distractions. You see what matters and what doesn't. You prioritize what drives results and cut out what wastes time. This laser focus allows you to conserve your energy and apply it where it counts. Ultimately, acting with purpose transforms you from a passive observer into an active warrior. It empowers you to shape your environment instead of being shaped by it. It turns chaos into order, weakness into strength, and threats into opportunities. When you act with purpose, you command respect from others and from yourself. You become the author of your own story, writing each chapter with intention and strength. Purpose fuels the discipline to keep grinding when no one is watching, and the courage to confront whatever stands in your way. This is how battles are won, not by chance, but by deliberate, purposeful action every single day. This is how you take control, reclaim your power, and build a life and a home that no threat can destroy. Building your defense is not a passive act. It's a deliberate, strategic, and relentless process. It requires you to take control of your environment and fortify every inch of your space with strength, resilience, and unyielding discipline. Your home is more than just a place to live. It is your sanctuary, your fortress, and it must be defended with the same intensity a warrior defends his battlefield. To build your defense, you first have to understand that weakness invites attack. Any opening, any gap, any vulnerability is an invitation for destruction. If you leave your guard down, if you tolerate negativity or toxic influences in your environment, you're giving the enemy a foothold. The moment you allow anything harmful to linger, you weaken your position. Defense begins with zero tolerance, zero compromise. You must demand absolute integrity from the space you occupy. This means removing everything that drains your energy, clouds your mind, or disrupts your focus. Whether it's physical objects charged with negative energy or habits that weaken your resolve, they must be eliminated. Defense is not about denial, it's about confrontation. It's about identifying what threatens you and actively pushing it out. The warrior sweeps the battlefield clean, leaving no trace of the enemy behind. But building your defense isn't just about removal. It's also about construction. It's about filling your environment with symbols of power, focus, and growth. Surround yourself with reminders of your mission, your discipline, and your strength. These could be simple items: a clean, organized space that supports clarity, motivational symbols that keep you aligned with your goals, routines that reinforce your mental toughness. Every element you bring in should serve to elevate you, not diminish you. Defense also requires consistent vigilance. Building your fortress once and then forgetting it is a recipe for failure. You must maintain your defenses daily. Check your environment regularly, assess what has changed, reinforce your boundaries. Discipline isn't a one-time event, it's a lifestyle. The warrior never lets his guard down because threats evolve and adapt. Your defense must be just as dynamic and relentless. The mindset behind building your defense is proactive, not reactive. You don't wait for problems to appear before you act. You anticipate threats, prepare for them, and neutralize them before they gain traction. This is how champions operate. They control their surroundings with purpose and intention, leaving no chance for weakness to breed. Building your defense also means strengthening your internal barriers. Your mental and emotional resilience are just as critical as physical space. Train your mind to reject doubt, fear, and distraction. Cultivate habits that build endurance, focus, and peace. When your inner fortress is strong, external attacks have less impact. You become immovable, unshakable. Your defense is your statement to the world. It tells everyone and everything that you are not a target for weakness or manipulation. It shows that you command respect, discipline, and control. The stronger your defense, the more confidence you carry, and the less vulnerable you are to any destructive force. Remember, defense is an ongoing battle. It requires vigilance, discipline, and constant effort. But every brick you lay, every negative influence you remove, and every boundary you enforce brings you closer to an unbreakable fortress. Build it with relentless focus, and no threat will ever penetrate your walls. Your defense is your power. Protect it fiercely. Strengthening your mindset is the battlefield where every victory is won or lost. It is the foundation that supports every action, every decision, and every challenge you face. Without a strong mindset, your body can tire, your plans can crumble, and your spirit can break. But when your mind is forged in discipline and resilience, you become unstoppable. You turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into setups for greater success. A strong mindset starts with the refusal to accept weakness. Weakness is the enemy's entry point. It creeps in disguised as doubt, fear, or complacency. It convinces you to quit, to give in, or to settle for less than your potential. But a warrior recognizes weakness for what it is, a trap designed to destroy progress. Strengthening your mindset means learning to identify these traps early and refusing to fall for them. It's about developing mental toughness that withstands the toughest storms. This toughness isn't born overnight. It's built through relentless discipline, through pushing yourself when you don't want to, through showing up even when the odds are stacked against you. It's in the daily grind, the early mornings, the late nights, the moments when no one is watching. It's a mindset that demands excellence not just when it's easy but especially when it's hard. Strengthening your mindset also means controlling your thoughts. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, and distractions sap your energy and blur your vision. But when you take control of your mental dialogue, when you replace fear with confidence and doubt with determination, you build an inner fortress no attack can breach. This takes awareness and practice. You have to catch those destructive thoughts and crush them before they take root. Your mindset must be anchored in purpose and mission. When you have a clear why, when you know what you are fighting for, it fuels your mental endurance. Purpose gives you a reason to push harder, to stay focused, and to rise after every fall. It turns pain into power and struggle into strength. Without purpose, your mind drifts. With purpose, your mind locks in. Resilience is a key part of a strong mindset. Life will knock you down, failure will come, people will doubt you and challenge your resolve. But resilience means standing back up every time you fall, learning from your mistakes, and moving forward without hesitation. It's refusing to let setbacks define you. It's taking control of your story and writing it on your own terms. Strengthening your mindset means embracing discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. It happens in the hard, uncomfortable moments when you push past limits, when you fight fatigue, fear, and uncertainty. It's in these moments you build mental calluses, thick layers of resilience that protect you from future attacks. Finally, a strong mindset requires patience and consistency. It's not about quick fixes or temporary motivation. It's about building habits, routines, and beliefs that last a lifetime. It's about committing to the process day after day, even when progress seems slow or invisible. This consistency creates unstoppable momentum. When your mindset is strong, you are no longer a victim of circumstances. You control how you respond, you own your power, you become the master of your fate. No external force can break you because your strength comes from within. This is the mental edge that separates winners from the rest. Strengthen your mindset relentlessly, build it like a fortress, protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. When your mind is unbreakable, nothing in the world can destroy you. Controlling your energy is one of the most powerful weapons you have in your arsenal. Energy is the force behind every action, every thought, and every emotion. When you learn to control it, you control your life. You control how you respond to challenges, how you influence others, and how you move toward your goals. Without control over your energy, you become reactive, scattered, and vulnerable to outside forces that seek to drain and destroy you. Energy isn't just physical, it's mental, emotional, and spiritual. It fuels your focus, your discipline, and your motivation. When your energy is scattered, you waste it on distractions, negativity, and doubt. You become exhausted, confused, and unable to maintain the intensity needed to win your battles. But when you take control, you channel your energy with precision, targeting it where it matters most. Controlling your energy starts with awareness. You have to know where your energy is going and what drains it. Toxic relationships, negative environments, unproductive habits, and self-defeating thoughts are all energy vampires. They suck the life out of you and weaken your ability to fight back. Identifying these drains is the first step. Once you know what steals your power, you can cut it off. This process demands discipline. You have to set boundaries and protect your time, your focus, and your peace. That means saying no to distractions, refusing to engage in petty conflicts, and eliminating anything that doesn't serve your mission. You become the gatekeeper of your energy, deciding what you allow in and what you push away. Controlling your energy also means managing your internal state. Your thoughts and emotions are powerful currents that can either lift you up or drag you down. When you let anger, fear, or frustration take control, you lose your edge. But when you learn to master your emotional responses, you keep your mind clear and your focus sharp. This requires mental training and constant vigilance. It means breathing through challenges, resetting your mindset, and choosing calm over chaos. Physical energy is equally important. Your body is the vessel through which all your power flows. Neglect your body and your energy wanes. Take care of it through proper nutrition, exercise, rest, and recovery, and you build a strong foundation that supports mental and emotional control. The warrior who controls their physical energy controls their ability to endure and push through adversity. Controlling your energy is not about suppressing emotions or ignoring challenges. It's about directing your power intentionally. It's about focusing your strength where it counts and not allowing yourself to be drained by unnecessary battles. This focus turns you into a force multiplier. Small efforts magnified by concentrated energy. Energy control also requires routine and consistency. Habits that build and restore energy must become non-negotiable parts of your day. Whether it's morning rituals, meditation, physical training, or periods of rest, these practices recharge your batteries and sharpen your edge. Consistency in managing your energy creates momentum that propels you forward even when motivation fades. Ultimately, controlling your energy gives you freedom. Freedom from chaos, from distraction, and from forces that seek to weaken you. It allows you to maintain discipline, stay focused on your mission, and face every challenge with strength and clarity. This control is a battle won every day, in every moment, by every choice you make. When you master your energy, you master your life. You become the commander of your own force, able to rise above any obstacle and dominate any situation. Energy control is not optional, it's essential. Take it seriously, own it fully, and watch how your world transforms when your energy becomes your greatest weapon. Fighting relentlessly means refusing to back down, no matter the odds, no matter the obstacles. It means digging deep, pushing harder, and never letting fatigue, fear, or failure dictate your course. When you fight relentlessly, you embody the spirit of a warrior who knows that victory is not given. It's earned through sweat, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. This kind of fight is not a momentary burst of effort. It's a lifelong battle, fought every day with purpose and intensity. Relentless fighting starts with mindset. You have to adopt the mentality that quitting is not an option, that no setback is permanent, no failure final. This mindset turns pain into motivation and doubt into determination. It pushes you beyond your comfort zone and into the realm where growth happens. Relentlessness means you don't stop when you're tired. You stop when the job is done. When you fight relentlessly, you prepare for battle before it begins. You train your body, sharpen your mind, and steel your spirit. You don't wait for the perfect conditions or the ideal moment. You create those moments with discipline and action. Preparation is key because when the fight comes, and it always does, you will be ready to face it head on. Relentless fighting requires resilience. Life will knock you down. You will face failures, criticism, and moments of doubt. But the relentless warrior stands back up every single time. You learn from your mistakes, adjust your tactics, and move forward without hesitation. You understand that every setback is a lesson, every challenge an opportunity to get stronger. Fighting relentlessly also means embracing discomfort. Growth and victory do not come from ease and convenience. They come from pushing through pain, frustration, and uncertainty. It's the willingness to endure the hard days, to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term gain. This endurance is what separates the winners from the quitters. Focus is critical in relentless fighting. You cannot afford to waste energy on distractions or doubt. You lock your sights on your goal and move steadily toward it. Every action you take serves your mission. You maintain your discipline even when no one is watching because you understand that real success is built in the quiet moments of relentless effort. Relentlessness demands accountability. You own your failures and your victories. You hold yourself to the highest standards, refusing to let excuses or blame take root. This accountability fuels your drive and sharpens your resolve. Support is important, but the fight is yours. You cannot rely on others to carry you through the battle. You have to summon strength from within, tap into reserves you didn't know existed, and keep moving forward. When you fight relentlessly, you become a force that can't be stopped, a warrior who dominates their environment with discipline and grit. Ultimately, fighting relentlessly is a choice. It's a decision to refuse defeat, to commit fully, and to execute with unwavering intensity. This choice shapes your identity and defines your legacy. It is how you overcome threats, conquer challenges, and build the life you deserve. Never stop fighting, never settle. Relentless effort is the price of greatness. When you embrace that, nothing in the world can destroy you. You become unbreakable. You become unstoppable. Owning your victory means fully claiming the success you have fought hard to achieve. It's about standing tall and acknowledging the battles you've won, the challenges you've overcome, and the discipline you've maintained. Victory is not something that happens by accident or luck. It is earned through relentless effort, unwavering focus, and an unbreakable mindset. When you own your victory, you refuse to downplay your achievements or give credit away. You accept responsibility for every step of the journey, knowing that your success is the result of your choices and sacrifices. To own your victory, you must first recognize that success is not just the outcome, it's the process. Every early morning, every moment of discipline, every decision to push forward despite fatigue or fear contributes to your triumph. You don't just celebrate the final result, you honor the grind that got you there. This mindset keeps you grounded and humble, yet fiercely proud of your accomplishments. Owning your victory also means defending it. Success attracts attention, both positive and negative. There will be people who try to bring you down, who doubt your worth, or who want to take credit for your hard work. When you own your victory, you stand firm against these forces. You protect what you've built with the same intensity and discipline that created it. You don't let external opinions or distractions diminish your sense of accomplishment. This ownership fuels your confidence. It gives you the power to move forward without hesitation, to set new goals, and to raise your standards even higher. When you truly own your victory, you don't rest on your laurels. You use it as a foundation to build even greater success. Victory becomes a stepping stone, not a finish line. Owning your victory means also learning from your journey. Every win comes with lessons about strategy, perseverance, and yourself. You analyze what worked, what didn't, and how you can improve. This continuous growth mindset ensures that your victories are sustainable and meaningful. It's important to own your victory without arrogance or entitlement. True ownership is rooted in discipline and respect for the process. It acknowledges that success requires constant effort and that no achievement is guaranteed. This balance keeps you hungry and driven, always ready to face the next challenge with the same relentless spirit. When you own your victory, you inspire others. Your example shows that discipline, resilience, and focus lead to real results. You become a beacon of strength and motivation, proving that no obstacle is too great when you commit fully to your mission. Your victory is not just personal, it becomes a symbol of what's possible for anyone willing to fight relentlessly. Ultimately, owning your victory means owning yourself. It's the moment when you realize that the power to succeed has always been inside you. No external force, no threat, no setback can take that away. You are the author of your success story, and you hold the pen with steady hands and unwavering resolve. Claim your victory boldly, celebrate it fiercely, protect it vigilantly, and let it fuel the next chapter of your journey. Because owning your victory is not the end, it's the beginning of becoming the unstoppable force you were meant to be.